Skill quarterfinal, community round. All athletes will be competing on the field of play at once. There are 9 challenges. Athletes will have 30 minutes to complete as many challenges as possible. They will receive a half point for every completed challenge. Points received in this round will carry over to the subsequent days of competition. Challenge 1. Athletes must perform a cat back to precision onto the rail. Challenge 2. Athletes must perform a tack to bounce off of the bar, then they must grab the bar, performing a lache precision to the far wall. Challenge 3. Athletes must perform a Kong to precision onto the bar. Challenge 4. Athletes must tack into a cat on that hand grab on the wall, then perform a dino to the top of the wall. Challenge 5. Athletes must dive across the gap, performing a Kong vault on the other side. Challenge number 6. Athletes must start on the tall wall, perform a drop precision, sticking the landing on the lower ledge. Challenge 7. Athletes must perform a tack to lache cat grab on the second pillar, then perform a cat 180 back to the first pillar. Challenge 8. Athletes must perform a Kong on the rail into a cat grab onto the tall wall. Once in cat position, they must do a cat 180 back to the bar and land in a precision. Challenge 9. Athletes must start at the top, performing a series of rail strides into a precision onto the 9-foot pillar.
Alrighty, here we go. Joe Hendo setting up for the IMAX pre. Impact, he sticks it, first tee.
Gets the thumbs up on the stick, first try. This jump is absolutely massive. I was looking at it earlier. Here we got another one going in.
Lane sticking it.
It's 2 sticks in a row.
Yo, is this ledge extra sticky, man? Because there's something going on.
This is at least an 8-foot drop. And 12 across, easy, 15 across.
Joe Rizzo setting up.
See what Joe Rizzo's got. Can he complete the 3-fer?
Oh!
The 3-fer!
A good fight for that stick, too. You saw his heels drop a little bit.
Goodness.
Or heels go up a little bit,
Everyone is going right now. There's so much energy. People are just ticking off challenges left and right.
Wow.
Absolutely no slowing down. I think I've seen about 6 people ace the dive Kong so far.
The energy is high.
Now, what do you think, Josh? Do you think which one of these challenges is going to give our competitors the most problems?
Honestly, I thought the IMAX pre was going to, so your guess is as good as mine. Honestly, this one that Hendo and Holden Clark are looking at right now is a massive lache all the way from a drop to a swing. You have to jump to that yellow bar, drop to your hands and swing all the way across the foam pit. That is a massive, massive swing from that precision.
And one of the most underrated things that the audience doesn't really get to see is what they're doing that lache pre to. Yo!
Let's go, Holden!
Holden hitting it, no problem. As I was about to say, they're landing on a soft surface. Tim Champion acing that drop pre to the IMAX ledge. As I was saying, this over the foam pit lache pre that it looks like Hendo overshoots.
Too much power from Hendo.
Landing on a soft surface, it can make it significantly more difficult to dial in that stick.
So actually, I think that this dive Kong challenge through the plaza over the planter is going to be the toughest challenge for a lot of these athletes. I don't think they'll have any problem generating the power to get that Kong, but going straight to the precision, that will be really tough.
They actually have changed that challenge. You no longer have to precision.
Oh, it's just the Kong.
If you survive the Kong, you survive.
Survive it.
We got Daryl Stingley hanging up on one that we haven't talked about yet. It's just a decent-sized Kong precision drop to rail pre. The hardest part about this is the ledge you're Konging is low and wide. That means you're very prone to overshooting that precision and not getting that stick.
Okay, Brody Pawson looking at the Kong challenge. Shouldn't be an issue for him. Long body champion. Easy.
Beautifully done. Looks like he could have stuck that pre too if he wanted to.
Okay, Tim Champion probably going to ace this challenge. Duh.
Tim Champion.
Called it.
Hey, that was a solid bet. It's a solid bet to say Tim Champion might ace every challenge he tries.
Fair
Holden
assumption.
go with the Dino, catches it first tee.
A little bit too much hesitation from Joe Hendo.
Everywhere I look, I just see hench. That's all I see. I look left, hench. I look right, hench.
You'll call this the Henchman Challenge. Yo, Dom Terry holding on. Wow.
One of the sketchiest things that can happen to you when going for Lachey.
Lane fighting for the stick as well.
Beautiful.
From Staten Island, New York.
Dude, my head is on a swivel right now. I can't keep up with all this.
Reminiscent of an owl, Joey Adrian.
Now, we are only 4 minutes in right now.
Wow.
4 minutes. And I have seen so many challenges getting ticked. Right there, Tim Champion hitting the Kong Cat return free to the rail, acing it again, first try.
And here comes Joe Rizzo. Just a little shallow on that. Oh, Olaf aborting last second on that dive Kong. Just didn't quite feel it. Kept his chest up and got his feet to the wall right in time.
Daryl Stingley behind us, acing the Dino Challenge like it was nothing. Looked like he just did it in his sleep.
And a little bit too much power from Brody Pawson on this cat back to rail challenge.
I've been seeing that as the go-ahead problem. Since Tim aced it, a lot of people have overdone it.
And that is a large drop to take should you fall backwards in any instance of this. Hendo
Nice.
killing it.
And as you can see there from Hendo, he actually had a little too much power. He just positioned his feet in a way to slow him down.
And Brody Pawson, once again, putting in a little bit too much power, trying to power his way through that challenge, just needs to dial it back. There we go. Nice, and it looks like the issue for Lane was not the cat back, but it was finding his feet on the wall, or getting to the wall, sorry.
Exactly. And it looked like there was just a little too much of a pause and the stick wasn't quite perfect.
Oh, yo, Nahulu getting some airtime just testing out that lâché.
Jared Nahulu known for his power, and it looked like it kind of bit him there. He put in way too much on it.
And this shouldn't be an issue for Daryl Stingley. Let's go, Wavy. Uh-huh.
Can he dial in that stick? Yes, he can.
Yo, no prob. No prob, Wavy.
Now I want to draw our attention to two challenges in particular. We got Joe Hendo on one. We got Tim Champion on the other. Never mind, because Tim Champion, in the style that he does, aces it.
Come on, man.
I was going to say, I think these two are our hardest challenges. That was not a stride, that was a plyo. Okay, we'll talk about the one that Hendo is on right now. You have to start up high. You have to do a stride across a large gap. So you have to stride across one bar, stride across an even larger gap, and then precision up onto that 9-foot pillar. Joe Hendo's setting up for it right now. I think this one is going to be one of the deciders for today.
And this challenge, wow, just
Bit of
narrowly
an ankle
thing.
thing.
Yeah, geez, jinx, man. So this challenge looks like a really solid mix of precision and power, because with these rail strides, your foot placement has to be very deliberate. But as soon as power joins the picture, it gets a lot more difficult to control.
All right, Tim Champion on that same rail stride pre.
Will
Can he
he
ace
flash
this one?
it?
Oh! My. Who is this man?
Yo,
We all
come
know who he
on.
is.
Yo, his last name's Champion for a reason, baby.
He's going for the three-peat of first place today.
Let's go.
Last two large international competitions that Origins Parkour hosted, which were under the guise of NAPC, not Sport Parkour League. He took first place in skill. He's coming back for the coveted three-peat, and that is Tim Champion.
So Hendo going for another attempt. He is busting a sweat.
Get a quick flex for the camera.
This can be tricky, too. It's a large stride.
Yo, Tim has done all the challenges. Yo, come on.
Holy. Joe Hendo right there does get the stick on those strides. But as we said, Tim Champion finished every single challenge, and he did it in 7 minutes.
That's insane. 22 minutes remaining. Tim gets to just kick back and relax for the rest of the day.
absolutely insane.
Oh, really good swing from Xander, but too much. Tucking for a front flip.
Now, the next challenge, we still have people repping out this stride precision, but the other one that I haven't talked about yet that I think will be another big decider is over here in the corner where Daryl Stingley's setting up. They have to do a cat 180 to precision that bar. Now, it's a big gap, and it's level with the cat. All right, every time I bring it up, I see somebody just flash.
I think the key is that we just keep talking about it, and these people will get these challenges. Oh, Xander. Nice. That's an okay from Coach Jackson. He is moving on to the next challenge.
Now, I can't be too surprised on that cat back because the first person was Tim Champion. He's a savage. The second one was Daryl Stingley. Unequal savage.
Okay, Don Terry from Athens, Georgia setting up. Looks like, okay, he's collecting himself. I've seen him on Instagram. He is very good at strides. This should be no issue for him.
Looking good. It looks like he's getting the stride to plyo out of the way, just feeling the distances.
Oh, just not enough from Olaf Wood.
All right, we're coming up towards that 10-minute mark. We're not quite there. We still have a couple minutes before we get there, but it's important to remember that at that point, these athletes have been going hard for 10 minutes. They got to start feeling a little bit gassed because what happens before is they're all waiting and waiting and waiting, building up this, becoming more and more anxious, more and more excited to get on the course. And that pent-up energy comes out in the first 10 minutes. People start to get gassed. And I think for the rest of the time, we're going to see it slow down a little bit and people really dial in every single challenge.
And the other thing is, with that excitement in hand, it can be very difficult to be as precise as you want to, because if you're excited, you're going to be putting that extra energy into your attempts. So you really need to find it within yourself to be calm and collected when you're doing these challenges.
Especially when every single one of these ends with a stick. It's not just about the power, the energy, it's all about the control on landing.
Oh, Olaf with another undershoot. Looking like he's okay.
And I just saw Daryl out of the corner of my eye. He sent the stride, but he did it in a very safe way to where he didn't put full weight on that foot. He just felt it out, felt out the positioning, then dropped to cat leap. And I think on his next attempt, he's going to put a little more weight on and might go for the stick.
And Brody Pawson and Lane setting up for this lache challenge. Haven't seen a whole lot of laches out of Brody. I think this might be the most difficult one for him out of all of these challenges.
There he is, Daryl, well done.
Oh! Proving me wrong, Brody Pawson is killing it.
Right there, we look right, Daryl hits a challenge. We look left, Brody hits a challenge. And as we said, Brody from Australia does a lot of his training outdoors from what I can see. And there's not a lot of bars outside, so it's kind of difficult to get that skill level that high with these laches.
Oh, Lane!
I'm kind of going crazy right now. I cannot believe how many of these challenges are getting destroyed right now.
And I think this might be the last challenge for Daryl Stingley. I could be wrong. Last one, just an impact test for this precision. Should be okay. No shortage of power when it comes to Daryl Stingley. Oh, too much from Daryl.
Little much. Now, I expected to see a lot more of that on that specific precision, putting too much in to save the ankles. But a lot of our athletes so far have been hitting it absolutely perfectly.
And you may or may not have seen with Daryl, but he did kind of a hard foot stomp when he was getting ready for the challenge, just standing there. And what that is when athletes do that, they're getting their feet accustomed to the impact before it actually happens. So they're getting the blood into their feet. They're preparing themselves for that impact so that when they hit, it doesn't hurt as much as it could.
All right, Jared Nahulu now setting up for this massive drop pre to the IMAX wall.
And he's doing it in Onitsuka Tigers. Look, those things have very, very thin soles. This will be a tough challenge doing it in those shoes.
And a true test of his accuracy and his skill. If he can walk away from this with a beautiful stick, you know he hit it perfectly.
Joe Rizzo looking casual on that catback challenge. Jared's just not quite seeing that precision yet. Might be a little far for him. See if Daryl can dial it back for this next attempt. Ah, just a little too much again.
Good landing, but chest being forward kind of carried him over on that last little bit.
Nahulu is not feeling the impact, taking lots of time in between attempts, but we do have 17 minutes remaining.
Plenty of time to even just sit down and chill for a little bit, get your head right, and then come back to these challenges.
Oh, let's go, Daryl!
Strong stick coming out of Daryl.
Hey! And that's it for Daryl, am I right?
It might be. It looks like he's asking, is he done?
But Daryl's not sure if he's done.
He has to keep track of himself, I believe. Over here in the corner, an athlete we haven't talked about much, we got Sean setting up for the tack pre to Lachey, and we also have a handful of people looking at this cat back pre to the bar. Confirmation, Daryl has finished every challenge.
Let's go, Daryl. Our second athlete to finish it all up.
Sean looking really strong there. Didn't quite get the lift he needed for that Lachey pre, though.
And Joseph Henderson, oh, getting on top of that bar somehow. Look at that squat range of motion, baby. He's been doing his stretches.
I saw Luke over there hitting the exact same challenge, doing it in almost the same way. It looks like he's getting chalked up to give it another go.
You know, both these boys be busting out those sumo squats trying to stick that. That is a tall catback 180 for them. Joe Rizzo taking a look at this challenge. Getting his deep breaths in. Just not feeling that Lachey quite yet.
Yep. Got to go on that first swing or it won't count, but I do respect. All right, looks like Brody hits the Kong pre-stick. Is that all for him?
One more challenge for Brody Pawson.
One more.
Oh, I think it's the precision to the blue IMAX wall. A 1-to-1 replica of the famous parkour location in the UK. Shouldn't be an issue for Brody.
Brody's known for them big drops, hench jumps. Wipes his shoes, almost gets it first tee, just not even centimeters too far.
And Luke Sabal, all the way from Terrace, BC.
Luke coming for that wall one more time, gonna hit that cat 180 free. Let's go, gotta get up there, high one. Squat.
Oh!
Hold it.
Hey!
Yes, sir!
He's a fighter, and he's a winner.
Beautifully done. Let's go, Luke.
Fun fact, Luke Sabal made it through on-site qualifiers.
Which is no easy task.
No easy task whatsoever, and he was one of the only competitors, if not the only one, to complete every single challenge in the qualifiers.
Insanity.
And looks like Xander is testing out a couple different angles. Xander in the army green shirt, all the way from the Bay Area, baby. Representing the squadron. Joe Rizzo struggling with this tack precision to the bar Lachey challenge. And Joe Hendo, the human sweat factory. Let's go, Hendo.
And as Hendo is sending that, we see Brody Pawson ticking off his final challenge with that IMAX stick. You would think he'd put a smile on his face, but he's from Australia. They don't do that down there, I
Takes
guess.
a lot to make Brody smile.
Well done, Brody. He doesn't even want to fist
All right, no
bump.
fist
Look at
bump.
that, man.
All right, and no fist bump for me.
Hey, I got you. Don't worry about it.
Okay, Brody's all done.
There it is.
Very good. Yo, fist bump for Brody. Let's go. I'm never gonna watch this hand. Let's go, Xander.
Come on, Xander. Let's see what you got. Wiping the sweat from the brow. Getting ready. Heavy drops.
Oh! Hey, first tee from Xander.
Oh, that was beauty.
Nice.
He worked that challenge very well. He started from close, got the stick, moved it further back, got the stick, moved it further back until the point where he knew he had it.
And it still counts as a first tee because, yeah, that's right, because he was just doing the preps. And, yeah, that's it.
Low risk, exactly. Low risk, and then when he goes for the higher risk one, he knows he's got it.
Oh, Joe Rizzo! Let's go!
Yes.
All right.
Dude.
Joe Rizzo made it through the online qualifiers. Some beastly challenges.
I got to remind everybody, we still have 12 minutes left on the course. We're just over halfway. There is plenty of time to tick off these last challenges. It's less about time right now, and it's more about conservation of energy. If they get too gassed, they're not going to be able to keep repping this at a high level.
If you're working on any one challenge for too long, you could potentially risk burning out part of your body. So you do need to spread out these attempts unless you've got one challenge left. That's when things get really tricky.
Sean still up there working on that Lachey pre over the pit. Looks like he's coming in a little too low on every single one so far.
Jared Nahulu setting up for this catback pre. Shouldn't be an issue.
Most definitely has the power for it. Very clean, comfortable landing right there. He looks unhappy with it. I'm not sure if he's unhappy that he didn't get it on that attempt, but it looks like he's got the power and everything he needs to get it.
And Olaf getting ready to send this IMAX pre once again, bouncing back repeatedly. Just needs to find a tiny bit more power to get a centimeter further on that ledge. Oh!
We're calling it there.
Oh,
Let's
it's
go.
good! Maybe listen to me. Maybe not.
Definitely not the tallest competitor out here, but he has some tree trunks for legs.
Trunks. Oh, someone called the lumberjack. Oh! Don Terry nearly running through the brick wall.
It's like we got some testosterone coming up on top. See if he can hit these strides.
Let's go, Joe. Muster that strength. And you'll see watching these competitors, each one has a very distinct preparation ritual.
Yep.
You'll see a lot of people lifting their shorts, kicking their legs behind them.
Excessive foot wipes, that's one for me.
Quadruple foot wipe. Doing whatever it takes to tell their mind that it is okay to go for this challenge.
Everyone on the course just got the notice that they have 10 minutes remaining, so they know exactly what they're in for right now.
Ooh. Nice!
Whoa!
Holden after 4 shoe wipes.
Holden with absolutely no hesitation on that. That was a beautiful challenge.
Olaf Wood just wrapping up the last few challenges. And it looks like that last stride has been difficult for him. Oh! Arches straight to a crane. Really tough to stride off of your arch. That's where you got to land on the ball of your foot. You have all that control, and you get to use all the muscles in your foot to get you to that correct location.
Definitely. Joe Rizzo back up there, giving it another try. That first one, he hit the first stride and then precisioned the bar, feeling out that distance. We're going to see if he can commit to 1 foot on the bar right now, or if he's still going to go for that tester.
Representing Unknown Parkour, New York City / Staten Island, which is probably the same thing.
Well
nice.
done.
You know what? With the extension on that last stride, I did not think he was going to get that.
I didn't either, but he pulled it out beautifully, and he says, I am done. That is his last challenge that he had to complete.
And Luke Sabal has lost his shirt. That means he is trying harder.
Huge round of applause for Joe Rizzo for finishing all challenges.
Amazing.
And we still have this catback free challenge. Over here, quietly in the corner, we got people just repping and repping and repping.
All of our shorter homies are looking red-faced and not happy about it. Oh, Xander with too much.
That is the first one that I've seen overshot.
Chee! Buddy, you better hit that side pre if you're going to do that. Side pre the A-bomb. Don Terry's got to find a bit more height.
Yep, got to get that height on it.
Come on, Joe.
All right, we got Olaf over here. Jared Nahulu getting the stick on the Kong Cat Challenge to 180 bar pre.
And he is busting his sweat looking at this IMAX pre.
He's stoked that he hit that one, though. He's ready to go on to that IMAX. Holding over here on the Cat 180.
Ah, nearly. Close attempt from holding the bag.
And this is one of those where if you have very good squat mobility, you can kind of force this challenge out. If
As
you
long as you
don't,
can get your feet on top.
exactly. If you don't, you really need that power.
All right, Xander.
Let's go, Xander.
And how many challenges does he have left?
Can't be that many.
I think I might have seen him mouth one more.
The strides. Hendo! Hitting
Hendo!
the Capri.
After drilling that challenge, making it through.
He was on that for the better part of 15 minutes.
Hendo is drenched in success. yeah, liquid success. Oh, Olaf Wood looking better on that stride though. Let's go, Holden. And Lane trying to find that last little bit of height on that catback, just is not feeling the setup.
Holden going with that meaty drop pre right now.
Let's go.
Joseph Hendo just confirmed completed all of the challenges.
Vinny, up here.
Joe Henderson from Hugo Boss. Luke Sabal checking out that stride challenge. Holden with the ski style stick is not going to be good. A little bit of a slide from that right foot. Okay, let's go, Holden.
You got it, Holden. Jared Nahulu setting up for that Kong pre to bar. Looks like he's feeling out the distance right now. Holden going for that drop pre again.
Oh,
That's the
nice.
one.
Let's go, Holden.
Well done,
Yes,
Holden.
sir. And Xander looking at his final challenge. Doesn't seem too comfortable with these rail strides, but we'll see how these first few attempts go.
I saw him practicing a little bit for the distance down low on the ground. Now he's up high, just looking at the mental side of it.
He's got the first precision down. Not too much of an issue. He's going to need a lot more momentum to carry himself across that bar, though. It looks like Don Terry is struggling with that catback, just not finding the height he needs.
Same thing going on with Olaf.
Honestly, Olaf could get his foot a little bit higher on that catback.
Yep.
Toes not touching the grip tape on the top. And perhaps that little bit extra could help.
That can be a space where it gets deceivingly scary. Once you're starting to get to that height, you start to overthink it and think, what if I just put my foot over the wall and bail out completely? I've been there before, and it's not fun.
And speaking of not fun, Jared Nahulu is not enjoying this pre to the IMAX. Oh, too much power. The attempts have been few and far in between. There's a lot of impact to take in those thin-soled shoes.
A lot of impact and a lot of mental energy looking forward to it every single time. You know you have to hold back, but your body is full of adrenaline, so it's trying to give you more.
And a lot of these jumps, especially like a very far precision, it's hard to tell if you can actually do it until you're in the air. So your mind will be telling you when you're on the ledge that I cannot. But the second you go for like a half energy attempt, your body will be like, oh, why didn't I go for this? But then you're standing up there and it's like, crap, I don't know what to do.
Absolutely. Here comes again for that drop pre.
Just a little bit less.
And you can see he's still putting power behind every single one. He's just trying to change the trajectory that he's hitting. Just a little bit every time.
And Luke Sabal not feeling confident with that last stride, just undershooting it. We got 3 minutes left. Oh.
Sean going for that bounce Lachey again. Gets feet on.
Just kicking himself away from that wall.
That was the best attempt I've seen him so far.
Okay, another attempt from Nahulu.
Let's go, Jared.
Oh! No! Don Terry found that height, but just could not dial it back enough for the stick. Gee whiz. Jared Nahulu just pushing a little bit too hard on that pre.
And Nahulu climbing right back up to the top. He says, I'm not giving up on this one. I'm just going to keep going until I'm out of time or I get this stick. That's our 2-minute remaining mark. I have a feeling the last people that are going right now are going to give it their all with the last bits of energy they have left.
Oh!
Jared gets the stick!
Finally! Let's go!
Nice work, Jared!
Let's go, Jared! Good stuff, Jared! Josh Dowie shouting into the mic.
Hey, sometimes things get a little too hype.
Let's go, Holden. And Holden's got a little bit more room on that wall to put his foot higher. And see if Don can dial it back. There we go!
That's it. That is so good to see because Don has been working on that quite a few times. I think his last 4 attempts were all on top, just a hair under or a hair over.
1 minute remaining for our competitors. That was great from Don because it wasn't looking too optimistic with his first couple attempts, just not finding that height over and over and over again, and finally made the change he needed. And it looks like he just needs to get this IMAX precision.
He's repping it over and over and over right now.
And it looks like Jared Nahulu is just struggling by putting too much power into these challenges. Just needs to find it within himself to dial it back. There we go.
Holds it. And he's running straight to the next challenge.
There we go.
You can see he's starting to get a little bit gassed, but he doesn't have time to take a break at this point.
And Sean Nierenberg setting up. Big lâché. Oh, sticks it. Let's go, Sean. Let's go. Oh, yo, sketchy. Luke Sabal going for the most hectic stride at the end of that. Trying to get in that last attempt. Damn, man.
Bro, and you can hear the crowd going absolutely insane right now.
All right. The war is over. The athletes are so relieved.
Sean hitting that stick with less than 7 seconds left on the clock, and he had been drilling that again and again, getting better on each and every attempt.
Tim for finishing 8 minutes. Wow. Okay, so we're going to keep the score. We're going to get set.
And now hopefully we'll get a replay of the men's skill challenges.
I think before we get that replay, we're going to run it to a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back, watch a few replays as we set up for the women's speed.
Sounds good.
We'll see you soon.
Mido, inspired by architecture.